TEK 5A, solving one-step equation notes. Okay, so let's get started. Let's first define the word variable. So a variable is a letter. So in math, a variable represents a unknown number and is written as a letter. For example, x, y, x squared, and so on. Okay, our goal for solving one-step equations is going to be to get the variable by itself. Very important. Okay, so let's look at the first example. So our first example says x plus 5 equals 10. So I'm going to draw my line through the equal sign to represent that this equation has two sides. And remember, our goal is to get x by itself. So on this side of the equation, notice that this plus 5 is in the way of our x. So we're going to do the opposite of plus 5, and we're going to do minus 5. When we do that, this cancels, and we are left with x equals 10 minus 5, which is 5. So my steps were to subtract 5 to have my answer of x equals 5. Okay, so let's look at example 2. Change my color. Okay. This one, in order to get x by itself, we need to get rid of this negative 4. So the opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. Remember, negative and a positive cancels if they're the same number, and we're left with x equals negative 12 plus 4, which is negative 8. So that means our step here was to add 4 to get x equals negative 8. Remember that if we have a negative and a positive, we subtract the numbers. So that's why I did 12 minus 4 and got 8. And since 12 was negative and it's my larger number, that's why 8 is negative. Okay, let's look at the next example. We have 2x, which is the same as 2 times x, is equal to 16. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So these will cancel, and we're just left with x equals 16 divided by 2, which is 8. So we are going to divide by 2 to get x equals 8. Okay, and the last example, this one says x divided by 3 is equal to 7. So we have to do the opposite of divide, which is to multiply. So we're multiplying by 3. Remember, the dot means to multiply. So when we multiply, these 3's cancel, and we are left with x equals 7 times 3, which is 21. So over here, our step was to multiply by 3 to get x equals 21.